So I wanted to talk to you today about a couple things that I've had an issue with lately.
Like what?
When I come home in the afternoons after a long day of classes and work and meetings, I want to relax and I want to decompress and I want to just sit on the couch and watch a show. Except there's dirty dishes everywhere and a lot of your things are in the living room in our common space.
Well, as you know, I'm a double major in biomedical sciences and nursing. So I have a lot of classes, and also I'm a D1 athlete.
And I get that.
I'm the president of 3 clubs as well.
And I know that you're just such an accomplished
I also volunteer at the orphanage.
And I know that you're such an accomplished overachiever. However, we still share an apartment.
Well, I get to it eventually, and the children at the orphanage need to come first. And so does my biomedical science degree.
Now, those are all great, but this is an apartment that we share. And you made a commitment to share this apartment with me, and there's a lot of mess that you leave. And I know that you may think I'm overreacting, but...
Well, that's because you clearly are.
And I know
you're oftentimes dramatic.
I may not do as much as you do.
It's a good thing you're a theater major.
And I may not do as much as you do. However, it is still a common space that we share.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about some solutions that we can have so that our common area is cleaner when I get home from work in the afternoons.
You can tell the orphans that I can't put enough time into them because I have to do the dishes.
Okay, but you need to make time to do the dishes and to clean up the living room because there's a lot of work clothes and sports athletic equipment in the living room when I come home and I want to watch Love Island. So we need to, what are some things that you would be willing to do to help this issue?
Well, I do get my dishes done eventually, so I'm not really sure what the problem is because the dishes are done currently. I did them 20 minutes ago.
Because your boyfriend's not here.
Well, yeah.
He's also over at our apartment a lot.
That's because he's really hot. I'm sure you appreciate that as well.
Well, I have my boyfriend that I am very respectful about. I'm very respectful about him and making sure that you're aware when he's there and not. Yours is there all the time.
Well, you said he was allowed to be there all the time.
I explained that he was always welcome. I didn't think you would take that in the sense that he would be there every day.
Did I mention he was moving in?
I'm not willing to accommodate that. I think that we could maybe talk about having a visitation window during the day where he's welcome at any time, but after that window, it would be more beneficial to have you text me or ask if it's all right with me if I am all right with him being over at those after hour times.
So he's like my lost custody child. I have to schedule visitation rights?
No, he's welcome during only part of the day at any point in time without permission. But I feel like as we are shared apartment owners, then we can have shared apartment time. Because, I also want to de-stress alone. I don't want to hear you and your boyfriend giggling in your room.
Well, that's what you have noise-canceling headphones for.
Okay.
I don't want to listen to you singing in your room.
Sometimes I can't find my noise-canceling headphones because the living room is such a mess with all of your stuff.
Well, maybe go back to the theater. You could use some more practice. A little pitchy.
Okay.
We're still not halfway.
I know. Okay, resuming, because I'm not cutting all this out. I don't like that your boyfriend is there all the time. And I feel like with my boyfriend, I text you when he's coming over. I am very respectful. I always clean up my messes. If I make us dinner, then I always clean up my dishes. I always make sure that all of my things are out of the living room. And I just want that from you as well.
Well, see, my boyfriend understands that I'm a double major volunteer and president of 3 clubs. So he doesn't mind when I have a dish in the sink or 2.
Your boyfriend doesn't share an apartment with you. I do.
Again,
And my
he's
opinion,
moving in.
my opinion matters too, and he's not moving in. I'm not willing to accommodate that because I am the landlord of our apartment, and your name isn't on the lease. You are just a inhabitant in my apartment. So in order to him to move in, he would have to come to me about it. But I want to talk to you without him here because I didn't want him to also create a secondary influence to our conversation.
He doesn't talk. He's actually deaf, so it's so unless you can read sign language, which I know you can't because theater nerds can't read sign language, then he can't contribute to our conversations because he can't talk. It's really insensitive of you, actually.
I feel pressure when he's there. It's insensitive of you to bring a second person into your side of the conversation. And I'm uncomfortable by it. Your boyfriend is weird. And I don't like him in our apartment. So there was no way that he could live with us. I have to switch my paper because this is complicated.
You really have to give some detail on my deaf boyfriend and
This
my
has gotten
double
a lot
major.
more aggressive go-getting than I was expecting it to. We have to go over 10 minutes because I have to cut a lot of this out. You can all right.
You can have a good mood switch. While I understand where you're coming from, you know, are awfully dramatic.
You know, I don't think I am because I feel like I can hold myself accountable to these same standards.
Well, maybe your just standards are just too high. Maybe you're just high maintenance.
You know, I don't think I am. I think there is a overall inappropriate behavior with your boyfriend that is just too much. I think you don't have respect for me and my apartment and our shared spaces. And I think that there is an overall lack of cleanliness on your behalf.
I really don't think I'm willing to lose this conversation.
I'm seeing that now. But I think that with conflict, it's not a lose. It's a happy medium.
No, I'm not caving.
Now,
I can't cave for another 6 minutes.
6. Now, it's not about caving. It's about finding a mutual happiness between us two that where we are both happy with the outcome. I think that maybe having a time frame of the week every couple days that you just clean would be beneficial, and we could alternate weeks so that there would be a time frame that the dishes and all of the items would be cleaned by versus just hoping at some point they would eventually get clean.
Well, they get clean at least once a week.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of days in a week. And I think that we could do maybe 2 or 3 times a week instead of just once at the end of the week. Or just clean your dishes right after you use them.
Well, no, because usually I have to run as soon as I, eat. I don't usually build in time for my schedule. But I suppose I do have 20 minutes in between my biomedical science class, my nursing class to do the dishes. But that's only on Mondays and Wednesdays.
And I can accommodate that. And we'll add those to the calendar. And then on the weekends, we can do an overall deeper clean.
Well, the weekends I do have the orphanage. But I suppose, again, you have to explain this to them. I suppose I can take 30 minutes out of my, my
Orphan volunteer
my
time.
orphan volunteer time to do the dishes.
Thank you. That's very generous of you. I could write the orphans a thank you letter.
I think you need to, because they're going to be really disappointed that their mother figure is gone.
Please don't bring any orphans into our apartment.
There's 3 under my bed.
Now, on the topic of your boyfriend, I think we should talk about more of a communicative environment where I feel more comfortable and he's there less.
Well, he has to be over at least on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 10 because that's the only time that we have in the week that I don't have to do homework.
Now I can
And those aren't my dishes days, so so we have time there.
Now I can accommodate those 2 late nights, but I would prefer that after 11 o'clock, he's either not there or you ask before he's there. Because those are the times that I come home from work every day, and sometimes I just want to decompress. And I don't want to see you and your boyfriend every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some nights he can go sleep where he lives.
Well, see, where he lives, his roommate's girlfriend is over every day, and he doesn't like his roommate's girlfriend, so he doesn't want to be there.
You know, I feel like I'm getting deja vu.
His roommate's girlfriend is also Spanish speaking, which is really hard for him to lip read. He can only read lips in English.
Well, I can only speak English. I can't speak.
Which is great. That's why he likes spending time with you, because he can read your lips. I don't know sign language.
But so I feel like there's a translation error. Now, I would really appreciate if your boyfriend is only there during the day. Maybe even not even that early in the morning.
Well, he also has to be over from 10 to 11 on Tuesdays and Thursdays because that is the time that I have in between my D1 soccer practice and the president of one of my clubs.
I can accommodate that.
And on the weekends, on Saturdays, he can come over between 6:30 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning.
You know, that is very early, but I feel like I can accommodate those days as long as any other day he's not there after 11.
Well, that's good because he is nocturnal, so.
I can tell. You guys make a lot of noise at night, and I would really prefer if he's not there every night.
We're doing a school project.
I'm doing a school project.
I think we've came to a great conclusion.
I feel like that's good enough.
Yeah, that's got to be good enough.